Regular, always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still reppin' 919, the city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve, I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up. Been on my grind since 2013. Now the way that I live, I feel like a king. 24 hours, I'm locked in. I'm feeling like Kobe, getting these rings. Do what I want when I want. Ain't got nobody telling me shit. Still got a whole lot of weight on my shoulders. Getting my reps up, hitting the gym. I've been feeling like I'm underrated, but day to day I've been chasing greatness. Nothing left on my bucket list, but I'm grinding like I'm still in the basement. Ain't nobody who working harder. Money tall like Wembanyama. They be talking from the sidelines while I'm on the court. I've been a baller. I'm about to go level up, I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular, always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still reppin' 919, the city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve, I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up. Always knew my potential, hop in the Porsche and there ain't no rental. Came a long way from studying dental, now I got plaques inside of my bedroom. Already know where I've been headed, I took my risk and I don't regret it. They showing me love, I'm showing it back. With every song I've been getting better, I know nothing that's good come free. No 9 to 5, I work all week. Put in my time and it keep paying off, I've been getting paid every time I speak. Used to have dreams of getting these ends, now I make the money go work for me. Can't stop now cause I got what I wanted, ain't nothing I need in my life but peace. I'm about to go level up, I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular, always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still reppin' 919, the city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve, I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up. Fighting me inside of me, I'm trying. I can see the fire in my eyes. I'll admit a part of me is dying, but nobody could ever feel the pain stuck in my mind. And I don't really know ya. I've been killing everybody in my way. I'm a soldier. I've been carrying the weight on my shoulders. Fuck their feelings, I don't want no friends. I'm a loner. Fuck them all, they don't really know me. The love is dead and they not my homie. Trying to see it all eye to eye, but I can't do that cause they all below me. Full of pain, I don't want the pills. I wipe my tears with $1 bills. I don't talk to like all my demons. They told me not to hide how I feel. I've been control of my own emotion. I'm better off without any talking. Every morning I'm back to holding on every grudge that I ever started. Heard the reaper, he been calling. Fighting back and I've been stalling. I ain't ready for that time yet cause I got a lot left to accomplish. Fighting me inside of me, I'm trying. I can see the fire in my eyes. I'll admit a part of me is dying, but nobody could ever feel the pain stuck in my mind. And I don't really know ya. I've been killing everybody in my way. I'm a soldier. I've been carrying the weight on my shoulders. Fuck their feelings, I don't want no friends. I'm a loner. Got a lot of new burned bridges. I don't care cause I don't miss them. Better off being by myself cause they never been in my own position. Lot of talking, they got opinions, but none of them have got my experience. 10 years I've been doing this, so why the fuck would I wanna hear them? Back to working on every song, putting hours in and they paying off. Can't forget when I started out, cause I'm here today, could be gone tomorrow. Fuck the trends, I'm here to stay. No, I'm not a puppet, I won't obey anybody with an open hand, cause I see the fakes from a mile away. Fighting me inside of me, I'm trying. I can see the fire in my eyes. I'll admit a part of me is dying, but nobody could ever feel the pain stuck in my mind. And I don't really know ya. I've been killing everybody in my way. I'm a soldier. I've been carrying the weight on my shoulders. Fuck their feelings, I don't want no friends. I'm a loner.
Days go by and my circle's still the same. Everybody good, I won't ever leave them hate. All I care about is the money, not the fate. If they didn't stop with me, they not at my team. Days go by
Still got my day ones in my life, losing track of who telling lies, cause they be somebody else online. I'm not faking smiles, not in the mood. If you rockin' with me, that's understood. They selling dreams and take advantage. I never tried to go Hollywood, I did it my way, in control and I never gon' change. All this time I stayed in my lane, I've been getting paid, my life been great and I can't complain. Never stepping on someone else just to get to where I've been trying to go. Can't nobody say I did them dirty, I'm always standing on 10 toes.
Days go by and my circle's still the same. Everybody good, I won't ever leave them hate. All I care about is the money, not the fame. If they didn't start with me, they not at my team. Days go by and my circle's still the same. Everybody good, I won't ever leave them hate. All I care about is the money, not the fame. If they didn't start with me, they not at my team.
Lessons learned, don't believe when they give their word. Don't put trust in something you heard, cause they gonna take what you deserve. I'm gonna play the game by my own rules, I do whatever I'm gonna choose. Can't depend on nobody else, cause they leave you dry when you no use. I seen it happen too many times, they can't control this life of mine. Better off moving all alone than letting someone be my lifeline. Fake friends turn to enemies when you're not giving them what they need. I'll be good no matter what, got my day one still around me.
Days go by and my circle's still the same. Everybody good, I won't ever leave them hate. All I care about is the money, not the fame. If they didn't start with me, they not at my team. Days go by and my circle's still the same. Everybody good, I won't ever leave them hate. All I care about is the money, not the fame. If they didn't start with me, they not at my team.
Ay, I'm out in the cold desert. My phone I do not disturb. I'm living the life, I'm feeling the vibe. They know that the bag's secure. Don't got any room on my passport. I travel around the world. The places I go, the things that I seen. Yeah, this is the life I earn. I look at the man in the mirror and I see a winner. I did it my way, I don't need your opinion. Put food on the table, my pockets got bigger. I'm eating that caviar, breakfast and dinner. I do what I want when I want and I love it. I knew all along I make something for nothing. I celebrate every day of the week. The checks keep increasing from month after month and I give myself all the validity. I don't need nobody telling me differently. Don't care about fame, cause that don't mean shit to me. I just enjoy what I do and take care of my family. Whoa, I'm out in France, I travel the coast. I kick it in can, then hit Monaco. The life that I chose, I put in the work and I seen the results. Yeah, step in the ring, Muhammad Ali. My name got a ring like caller ID. I'm one of the biggest who reppin' and see. The lack of respect is not bothering me. My life a reflection, what they wanna be. The views that I seen are hard to believe. I don't need approval from journalists who really be some failed MCs. I know the truth behind all the madness, minding my business, keep living lavish. Love all the fans who made it all happen. I wouldn't be here without them, don't take it for granted. Yeah, my life is a movie, but I'm not an actor. Everything real, I'm turning a chapter on to the next. I'll see what's in store, but for now, I'm out in the cold desert. My phone I do not disturb. I'm living the life, I'm feeling the vibe. They know that the bag's secure. Don't got any room on my passport. I travel around the world. The places I go, the things that I seen. Yeah, this is the life I earned. I've been going through some shit that's getting real now. Yeah, people dying all around me, man. I'm telling you, this shit is getting real now. Yeah, lost my grandma, didn't know it. Can you tell me how that feel now? Yeah, got a message saying sorry for your loss. I didn't know if it was real now. Praying that they got the wrong number. Tell me how the fuck I got a deal now. I was going through the motions, I was doing all my shit. Turning 20 in the city, I was too focused to quit. Got on FaceTime with my granny and she told me she was proud. 1 week later she was gone and now she up above the clouds. Never got the chance to tell her that I loved her for her legacy. Everything she did and all she wanted was the best for me. Tell me why the good times always coming with the bad. Never thought I'd see the tears ever coming from my dad. I've been on a mission ever since, get it while I can. man, every day I gotta reminisce, thinking about the past. I've been killing all these beats, I've been shitting on these rappers. I've been praying that I never gotta settle, living average. Gotta buy my mama crib, gotta buy my dad a whip, gotta buy my bro the world, gotta get it while I live. I don't take no shit for granted, cause I seen it come and go. I'ma take over the planet, yeah, you fuckers better know. I've been going through some shit that's getting real now.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another awesome Friday. We made it. End of the week. It is typically tea with a hacker, but gym this morning, and I'm out of milk, so I couldn't make my typical my typical chai latte. That does not change the fact that I got a bunch of coffee inside of my protein shake this morning. So it is protein shake with a hacker instead of tea with a hacker this morning. Be that as it may. Yes, protein shake with a hacker this morning. Happy Friday to everybody. We made it once again. Welcome up. If this is your first time, I saw a bunch of first-time chatters in chat. Thank you so very much for joining in with us this Friday morning. My name is Neal Bridges, and I want to thank you personally for being here this morning. This is our Friday morning AMA stream. What does that mean? That means I sit here with all you beautiful, lovely people. We sit here and we enjoy some Friday drinks. We talk about the shit show that is cybersecurity. I mean, you know, it's an industry, right? Hey, there's Lori over in YouTube. Good to see you. Talk about everything that is cybersecurity, all the awesome things going on in our industry, and boy, do I got some awesome stuff to talk to you about this morning. So one of the things that I do, I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I don't know if I've ever talked about like my content creation mentality, right? So I talk to tons of people throughout the week. I talk to CISOs, I talk to security architects, I talk to security engineers, I talk to security analysts. I talk to tons of people. And it's amazing when I talk to people, it's everything from they tell me things that I didn't know to I tell them things that they didn't know. And it's amazing when I'm okay with like people telling me things that I did not know, and I love that, and I come back and I try to share that with you all. I definitely do that. But then I say some things that people didn't know, and I'm like, how do you not know this? And I don't mean that in like a are you stupid way. I mean that like I thought this was common knowledge. And so I learned a couple of things this week from talking to folks out in the real world, touching grass and all that stuff, that I want to share with you guys. So this is going to be a great episode. I got kind of two absolutely massive things to talk to you about that I learned this week that we talked about. So we're going to hit those here in a little bit. We'll let everybody come into chat, settle down, and get their bearings and whatnot. First and foremost, let's kind of talk about the rules for the new folks that we have here. So first and foremost, we keep chat free of any racist, sexist, misogynistic, elitist, and otherwise toxic behavior. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to toxicity on a stream. What does that mean? That means that we absolutely love for you to commune with all your cybersecurity professionals across all the platforms. We are streaming live on Twitch, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. And we have various communities across all those different platforms. And I'm super grateful for the ability to talk to all four of those communities all at the same time. But we do ask that you keep chat free of any racist, sexist, misogynistic, or otherwise elitist, toxic mentality in chat. Nothing but respect for your fellow cybersecurity professionals. We're all here fighting the good fight together with the same intent. With that in mind, we do have moderators in chat. Huge shout out every single time that we stream to our moderator crew. Our moderator crew is here voluntarily. Some of them are pulling double duty because they're here on the stream and they're doing their daytime job at the same time. So, you know, with a zero tolerance, policy for disrespecting the moderators, as a matter of fact, please drop some W's in chat, drop some bits in chat, drop some drop some loves in chat, some hearts in chat for your favorite moderator or even your least favorite moderator if you got one of those. They are here selflessly making sure that chat is free of any racist, sexist, misogynistic, and elitist behavior. Sorry about that. My cable, my giant long cable that allows me to move across my office with my headphones was stuck underneath my office chair, and I was over there literally fighting it. Moderators are not here, however, to stifle chat in any way, shape, or form. They're here to make sure that this conversation can happen. Speaking of conversations, so this is our Friday morning AMA stream. I do sit here, make myself available to answer literally any and all questions that you happen to have regarding, cybersecurity, hacking, blue team, my time at the NSA, my time in the Air Force, my cancer journey, my golf journey. If you want to talk about barbecue, we can sit here and talk about barbecue. We've definitely done that before on this stream as well. So we're literally here to talk about, this is my time with you. We have thematic streams that happen throughout the week. I highly encourage you to tune into any of those thematic streams where we usually focus on some very specific topics, but this is your morning. This is your morning. This is your morning to sit down with me and have unadulterated time with me. Usually sit here for about 2 hours. Talk to you about what's happening in the industry, answer your questions, and generally give you 2 hours of my time completely and totally for free for us to sit here and BS for a while. So with that being said, drop your question into chat at any point in time. We have the moderators who grab the questions. They add them to a queue. And then at some point in time during the stream, you'll see a question box pop up like this one. This one's from Winter Jolt over on YouTube saying mods rule. Yes, mods definitely rule. And so we'll see a question like this, we'll push it up on stream, and we will talk about it, answer it, whatever the case is. So please, whether you're in LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch, drop your question at any point in time, and we will get them added to the queue. Thank you, Anna Briated, for the 7 stream streak. Somebody the other day, I thought I saw, was on a 25 stream streak. It was absolutely amazing. A 25 stream streak. Mods in my ear. So just in case you don't know, I keep my headphones on because I've got beard sec in my ear talking to me. Inebriated. Thank you for that. See, I'm not good with that. All right. So I do have a couple good things to talk about today. There was obviously a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening in the world today. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the Signal thing. But before I talk about the Signal thing, I want to remind everybody that we keep chat 100% free of any political talk at all. What does that mean? Is I'm going to talk about Signal, but we're not here to bash R's. We're not here to bash D's. We're not here to talk about, Elon Musk and his stance. We're not here to talk about any of that. We are simply here talking about the cybersecurity implications of what happens in the world around us. Okay? So as I talk about this, keep that in mind. Mods are very sensitive to that, so I make a big deal about it because I don't want you to get banned. So make sure if we engage in this conversation, we do it from the perspective of a cybersecurity perspective, right? And so obviously this week we saw a massive blow up around this whole Signal thing. So if you're new to what had happened in the world today, allegedly what had happened was there was a Signal group that several cabinet members were a part of, and they were discussing material. So again, we're just gonna keep it very generic. They were discussing material, and at some point in time, somebody inadvertently added somebody to a conversation that did not have a need to know for the material that was being discussed in the conversation. And obviously that caused a huge giant blow up. Now, the conversation that I want to have, and I think this may have gone under the radar as this was happening, but at the same time that this was happening, CIA Director Ratcliffe was testifying in Congress, and under oath, he said that when he started at the CIA, so this is a CIA director, brand new, just started this year, when he got access to his computer, one of the first things that they put onto his computer was Signal. And so I bring this up to say, this is the CIA director. Remember, we've talked about the roles that the CIA has played, the NSA has played, and things like that here on this stream before in the past. The CIA director is a counterintelligence, right, type of activity, meaning they run human sources. They are over there trying to counter, intelligence against the United States, things like that, right? So they're actively working with assets in the field, right? Working with assets in the field that are gathering intelligence and performing counterintelligence operations. So frame that in your heads for a second. Frame that in your heads for a second. And think about that. If the world's top spy agency, I know people like to think the NSA is the top spy agency, the NSA is the top signals intelligence agency, the CIA is the top spy agency. They have spies everywhere. If day one, Signal is installed on the CIA director's computer so that he can communicate with assets in the field, then it is almost assuredly guaranteed that everybody else who's a field officer who deals day to day with field assets in the field of intelligence of the greatest spy agency in the world is using Signal. That should give you a sense of confidence that the United States government has in the strength of Signal, just from a technology end-to-end encryption perspective. Right? So a lot of folks have asked before on this stream, do I think Signal is safe? What do I think about Telegram? What do I think about WhatsApp, Discord from a security perspective? From a security perspective, I would say it is a reasonable conclusion that if the world's top spy agency is using Signal to communicate with field assets, that's a pretty good testament to the level of security that Signal has. Now, one of the other conversations that I've seen that I want to talk about is whether this was a data breach or not. It depends, right? Data breaches are not universally classified, right? The definition of a data breach to an energy company, a definition of a data breach to a bank, a data breach to Joe's Pizza Shop down the road are three different types of data breaches. They all have different qualifications. They all have different thresholds. They all have different anything else, right? And so the public is absolutely not qualified under any stretch whatsoever to decide if this was a data breach or not. Period, dot, end of discussion. I do live down the road from Joe's Pizza Shop. Right? So anybody who says this is a data breach is woefully speculating and unqualified to do so. Was this an OPSEC failure, operational security failure? 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over, right? This was an OPSEC failure, and I'll give you that. because they failed to check that everybody in the location had a need to know for that information before discussing it. And that's no different than you talking about something sensitive inside of a coffee house with everybody around you, right? So was it a OPSEC failure? 1,000%. But I refuse to acknowledge that it was a data breach until it has been declared by a data breach by somebody who has the authority to declare it a data breach. Just to give it a perspective, in the corporate world, even as CISO, I would never, ever, ever say that there was a data breach that happened in my company. Right? As cybersecurity professionals, you all are not qualified to declare something a data breach. Let me say that again. As cybersecurity professionals, you all are not qualified. You all, I don't care how many years of experience you've got. You all are not qualified to define something as a data breach. The only group of individuals who can realistically and accurately declare a data breach is a legal authority. And the reason for that is because a data breach begets a legal response. Data breach begets a legal response. And I think that that's an important distinction to draw when we talk about data breaches. They have legal requirements. They have legal reporting requirements. They may have fines associated with them. If it's in a public company, you may have reporting requirements to the SEC. And so as such, the only entity who could ever declare that something was a data breach is a lawyer. So keep that in mind as people throw around some of these words. Right? The last thing that I'll talk about this is classification. And I'm not here to talk about whether the information in that chat was classified or not. And the reason for that is because nobody in the public sector knows whether that was classified or not. Nobody. I won't even say whether it's classified or not. You know why? Because it's been well over 10 years since I've been out of the military. And so I have no idea if the words that they used in that chat were classified words. You have no idea if those were weapon systems or not. You have no idea if those were code words or not. You have no idea if those are classified. And so I highly encourage you to put on an analytical hat and think about that nobody knows whether it's classified or not. But what I can unequivocally tell you is that if it was classified, there should be heads rolling. If it was indeed classified, it should result in heads rolling. And I've said that before. I've said it about Snowden. I've said it about other cases, right? If you inadvertently disclose classified information, inadvertently, advertently, if you intentionally disclose classified information, right? It is a law that you cannot do. You are not allowed legally to disclose classified information. And so it is against the law to do so. And if it is against the law, then heads should roll for it. So, with that being said, I know there's a lot of conversation around Signal. Those are kind of the three major points that I wanted to make on the Signal stuff. If we want to have a cybersecurity conversation about it, please let me know. Drop it in chat what your question or comment is. regarding this matter. I don't see any questions in chat about it. I love Signal too. I did just find out that Signal allows you to create a handle. I've thought about creating a Cyber Insecurity Signal group. Thinking about it. Does everybody know what Signal is? That's a great question. Don't be. Let me explain it. You don't have to out yourself in chat if you don't know what Signal is. Chat apps are everywhere, right? You've got banking apps. You've got, I wasn't going to go so far as to call it a protocol, right? I love this. I believe Signal is an old wooden ship. No, there we go. There we go. Explain Signal. I don't know what it is. Absolutely. I'm not going to explain Signal from a protocol perspective because I'm just going to keep it more esoteric than that. Listen, Signal's a chat app. It's like WhatsApp. It's like Telegram. It's like iMessage. It's like SMS, right? The advantages that Signal has always touted is true end-to-end encryption of messages, right? And you've got, it took some cues from Snapchat where they've got like disappearing messages that ultimately ended up getting put into as features into other products. I'd say just for the sake of the conversation, Signal is a chat app that is probably one of the most well-known amongst people looking to keep encrypted communications truly encrypted. Good point. Crypto mathician. I think is there mathicician? Isn't there an M missing that? Mathematician? There is. If you're interested in cryptography as a whole, hop into Discord and go chat with eCurve. That dude is amazing. That dude is hands down probably one of the smartest crypto people that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm pretty sure it is too, now that he outed himself. Professional Lurk donated $1 to our Melanoma Research Foundation. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation to the Melanoma Research Foundation. I also appreciate your name, Professional Lurk. Thank you so very much for lurking, and I recognize you and I appreciate you. He's still lurking. He's just been recognized for his lurking. I'm arguing with a mod in my ear. All right. All right, so that's the Signal conversation. Drop in chat if you want to talk about the Signal thing anymore. I want to talk about the second thing. I'm going to pivot on you. Grab a hold of the seat because we're about to take a sharp right turn. I mentioned earlier in the stream that I have conversations with people and then I go, holy cow, I didn't know you didn't know that. And again, I don't say that from a, you're not smart perspective. I can't believe you didn't know that. I say that from, holy cow, I thought it was common knowledge. So as with anything Neal related, I'm going to tell a story because I love stories, right? I obviously spent a lot of time mentoring folks. I think I dropped one in Discord the other day that I'd shared with somebody, that I text with on a regular basis. I was mentoring with a member of the community here this week, and they have a job in cybersecurity, and they have a very good job in cybersecurity. They are very, very smart. They do bug bounties. They've successfully done bug bounties. They are a programmer. They have built their own application. They have built their own bots. They are very well established technically. And yet, these people still have imposter syndrome. And so I start off with that to say, if you're listening and have imposter syndrome, welcome to the club. Everybody has it. You're in cahoots with a lot of people who all feel the same way. We all have imposter syndrome, right? But this individual also very much has imposter syndrome. They were on a conversation with a peer in the industry, and as with human nature, right? As with human nature, the peer that they were on the phone with was very egocentric, right? They were touting the certs that they had. They were talking about how they were GIAC this, GIAC that, GXPN, GCIH, G. They were all over the place in terms of how awesome they were. And in the conversation with this individual from the community, that throwing around of all of those certs really started to impact this person's imposter syndrome. And so that's the framing of the story that I'm about to tell you here. So they come to me and they're like, hey, Neal, I just don't feel like I can make a move. I can make the next move in my career because I just don't feel like I have this level of qualifications. Now that imposter syndrome had turned into, I'm not qualified because I don't look like this person. And this gets back to our cert conversation a little bit, right? And this gets back to some of the mentality where it's like, I've got this alphabet soup next to my name, therefore you're not smart, I'm smarter than you, you should listen to me. And it had manifested for this individual in that way. I don't have this cert soup behind my name, therefore I'm not qualified to be in this industry. I'm not qualified to move up in my next realm. And I don't know what prompted me to think about it. I don't know where my head was at, but the first thing that came out of my mouth when I said this to this individual, when I responded to this for this individual was, you know that SANS courses are open book, right? And their response was, get the fuck out of here. I was like, 100%. SANS courses are open book. So I'll give it a minute for anybody who did not know that to allow the head swooning to happen, catch their breath, recenter themselves. SANS courses are open book. Okay? When we were in the military building out the functional training program for cyber, right? We were helping SANS build the .mil curriculum for the military. And as a result of that, obviously, being in the military, we wanted people to succeed. And so we would bring SANS in. SANS would teach a 6-day course. And then we would make the students wait 2 weeks before they took a SANS test. And I specifically taught a course after SANS left on how to make an index to be successful at a SANS course. I showed this to this individual. I showed an index that I had created to the individual that had been awed by this. So SANS allows you to create an index. I saw somebody say it, index. SANS allows you to create an index so that you can find the information in the 6 books that they give you for an exam. So, what is a SANS cert teaching you? There is only one right answer to this. Does anybody know what a SANS cert is teaching you now? Exactly. How to research, how to look shit up. Most of the people that failed a SANS cert under my watch failed because they failed to research fast enough. They didn't fail for missing questions. They didn't fail for not knowing the material. They failed because they couldn't research fast enough. Right? And so when we talk about the value of certs, right? When we talk about the value of certs, back in the day, when SANS was one of 4 cert vendors, that gave them a pretty high rating in terms of the amount of material that they could shove into a 6-day course to be successful. And thus, that made that material valuable. And thus, people were like, well, you took a SANS course, you must be really, really smart because those SANS tests are hard. I've always heard hard things about them. But what has failed to seep through to the hiring managers is that SANS cert is only a certification on how to research fast. Right? So that's what that cert is. If anybody is clouding on you for having a SANS cert, I want you to immediately respond with, cool, your Google is pretty fast. Good job, you can research pretty fast. That is all a SANS cert means. That is all a SANS cert means, is that you can search really fast. Listen, I'm a SANS instructor, or I was a SANS instructor for 5 years, right? I was a SANS instructor for 5 years. We built the first functional training unit for cyber and offensive hacking at the Air Force off of SANS courses. I've mentored several people on how to pass their SANS exam. I know how the system works. So when I rag on certs, this is why. Because this hasn't changed. This hasn't changed in over 10 years. And they are well over $8,000 to take. Right? Well over $8,000 to take. Now, back in the day, that made them worthwhile because they were like digital gold. Today, I will stand by. Do not spend a dime of your own money on a SANS cert. Do not spend a dime of your own money on a SANS cert. Absolutely not worth it. Especially in this day and age. In this day and age, with information as prevalent as it is, now is not the time to be spending money on a SANS cert. What should we spend it on instead? First of all, you shouldn't spend a dime on your cybersecurity career. Until you have exhausted every free resource that exists out there, you shouldn't spend a dime of your own money learning. You're here listening to me for free. Now, granted, my opinions are probably worth about $0, which is okay. I'm all right with that. But you should not spend a dime of your own money on anything career related. I'll die on that hill. Right? If you're going to pursue a SANS course, dear God, make your company pay for it. For the love of all that is holy, make your company pay for it. And if your company won't pay for it, your company doesn't value your education, and you should not pay for it. Right? There is too much free information out there for you to be paying $8,000. Listen, if you want to pay $8,000, you can give me that $8,000. We'll turn it around. We'll give it back to the community. And I'll give you a syllabus out of whatever SANS course you want and give you a list of YouTube videos that exist out there, and you can go learn from that. Hands down. You want to blow $8,000? Blow it here. We'll take that money, we'll turn it around, we'll give it back to the community, and I'll give you a list of things that you go watch on YouTube completely for free that'll teach you 100 times better than any SANS course will. In this day and age, in today's day and age, the job economy that exists today, there is no cert, zero cert, that is a golden ticket into the door of any company. No cert. Zero cert. Not OSCP, not SANS, not Sec Plus, not CEH, nothing. There is no cert that exists today that is a golden ticket into any company. And I get this one every time I say it. I get this question every time I say it. Well, Neal, how do I get past the hiring manager that's looking for a cert? If you're trying to beat the hiring game, through certs, you're in a rat race. Call me a curmudgeon old man. I don't care. But if everybody has OSCP, nobody has OSCP. Somebody tried to come in my comments on YouTube and fight me on this. And again, I welcome it. I absolutely welcome the banter on this. Right? But let me explain something to you. And I love civil discourse. I absolutely love civil discourse. I welcome it all day, every day. If you've been a part of this community for any length of time, you know that is one of the core values that we have in this community. Right? Is civil discourse. Right? But I unequivocally will die on a hill that says that if you are trying to get a job by padding your resume with certs and then hitting that apply now button and hoping that your resume sticks out because of a list of certs, you are failing the job search process. Everybody has certs. Listen, the certification game is a zero-sum game. Because at some point in time, everybody has CEH. At some point in time, everybody has OSCP. Right? There are only so many people who can have a cert before everybody has the cert. The market will eventually dry up. the market of people who buy certs will either run out or people will realize that those certs aren't getting them jobs. And what happens when that happens? People realize that the cert game is dead. There's a rumor floating around that one of the most popular training platforms out there just got bought. And they were somebody who had a mission to make education affordable for everybody. But yet they sold out because they realized that there's no money to be had as the cert game starts to dry up. Right? And so what I say to this is, if you're trying to use certs to get past the HR managers, you are failing. That's a little bit of a soapbox for me. I apologize, not sorry, for a lot of the soapboxy stuff. I thought I saw a comment. I was going to put it up. My statement is always the same. Like, when I talk about this, I want you guys to understand something, right? I'm not telling you not to go seek knowledge. I'm not telling you not to go seek knowledge. Please, don't take away that that's what I'm saying. You should absolutely go out there and you should seek knowledge. But that's what I'm encouraging you to do. I'm encouraging you to go seek knowledge. Right? If there's something that you want to learn, go learn it. But start with the free stuff. Go exhaust every free resource that exists out there. Right? Go do every free resource that exists out there. Then, after you do every free resource that's out there, you self-assess yourself and say, what don't I still know? Can I still find it? And if you can't, and you can seriously look at the field and say, who is a respectable individual that I can go learn from, you either go look for their free stuff specifically, just in case it's not on a YouTube or anything else like that, and then you can go pay for something after you've done all of that and you have no other choice. What's your time worth? What would you say is too much to invest in knowledge? Your time is the most valuable thing you can invest. Like, that's not a trope. Dead serious. Your time. Listen, let's be real for a second. Do you think my time is free? It's 9:13. Technically, I'm supposed to be working for Query. Do you think my time is free? Right? Time is your most valuable asset. And so the only answer that you can answer to yourself on this is, how much of your time are you willing to invest in knowledge? Right? How much time are you willing to invest in your career? How much time are you willing to invest in being the best in your industry? Right? Listen, y'all, most of y'all know I'm on a golfing journey. Most of y'all know I'm trying to make it to the PGA Tour. If I skip training today, do I get that time back? If I don't go to the gym, if I don't hit on the simulator, if I don't go to the putting green, if I don't go to the driving range, do I get the time back that I could have trained today? Do I get it back tomorrow? Does it carry over? No. If you fail to invest today in yourself, that is lost opportunity. Lost opportunity. Okay? I saw this. This was pretty funny. Where's the one? Where's that one? I love it. There was this one, which I thought was pretty funny too, and then there was this one, right? Nim, I know has been here. I know he's a regular, so he or she's a regular, so I know that they're being funny, which I appreciate, right? Right. I invest in you by showing up on streams to chat with you. I do this freely and willingly, 100%. I tell you all, we take $0 on this stream. Thank you to Anita, Wild Peace, Cyber Chameleon for the donations to the Melanoma Research Foundation. Those donations go directly to the Melanoma Research Foundation. I started that donation 2 years ago when I got diagnosed with cancer. Thank you. That money goes straight to them. Any money that we earn from subs on this channel goes directly to paying for more training for you all. If you were here Thursday, Wednesday, whenever we had Jason on for Threat Brief, I conned Jason out of giving away SANS courses, right? Companies can't just come here and have their logo here without giving you time back, without giving you something back. That's my commitment. That's my investment to you, is to give you my time completely and totally for free to make sure that you're getting whatever I can give you to advance in this industry. That's right, Beardsec. I don't know if you caught that on Wednesday. Make sure you go thank BitLift. Right? I did just get done ragging on SANS courses. But also, if I can con somebody into giving them away for free, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to con somebody into giving them away for free. So we conned Jason at BitLift. I say conned. If he were here, he'd laugh about it and he'd agree to it. He agreed on stream to give away a SANS course. More information coming. Make sure you're in Discord. Make sure you're on social media. Right? Make sure you got notifications turned on. You do not want to miss this. But we are going to get BitLift to give away a SANS course. Right? We're back, baby. We're giving shit away all the time. So make sure you're paying attention. We're going to give some SANS courses away. Care of BitLift. But you listen. You can come here. You can get my SANS courses. You can't come here and get my SANS courses. You can come here and get my free content. You can tune into sub chat. I was in sub chat twice, I think, this week in the evening. You can come into sub chat and you get free coaching, free mentoring whenever I'm in sub chat. Whenever you see sub chat and you see IT Junkie hanging out in sub chat, that's me. You can come in there and you can ask me one-on-one questions all day long. Right? No, I don't think it is. Elaborate. Say more. What? I can't rag on a cert, but then somebody's going to give me an opportunity to give one away for free, and I'll give it away for free? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't have to pay for it, if you get the benefit of it, I'm going to give it away for free. How is that talking out both sides of the mouth? Look, listen, I'm not going to deprive you of an opportunity to get more knowledge for free when what is my number one rule? Do the free stuff first. So if I can get Sans for free, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it away to you so you can do it for free. Fight me, bro. You're going to complain because I'm going to give you Sans content for free? Fight me, bro. Respectfully. It's absolutely not speaking out on both sides of my mouth. There was one more thing. There was a couple soapbox items. Wow, we've been at it for an hour. Last thing, and then we'll go back to some more questions. Let's talk about AI. I thought there was a question about AI. I thought I saw it hit the queue, Brian. Several. Yeah, there are several. All right. Let's find an AI one that we can put up on stream. Let's do this one. Let's talk about AI for a second. Yes, inebriated. The protein shake. I have my pre-workout here. And then, of course, I got my trusty Coke Zero here. There is no shortage of caffeine this morning. No shortage of caffeine this morning. I saw somebody ask about when we streamed. Great question. You can catch us here, Tea with a Hacker, every Friday. We do this type of AMA rant. Tuesdays, we have a cyber threat brief. Thursdays, we have Sec Data Ops. And we may be adding another show to the list. If you remember a couple years back, Brandon Krieger was on stream doing Daily Cyber. He's recently been laid off like many folks in our industry has, and he's interested in coming back to streaming. So we're working with Brandon. We may be adding more content to the stream. More free content, powered and supported by the community all day and every day to make sure that you're getting what you need to be successful. Morning. Good to see you too. Good to see everybody in chat. Happy freaking Friday. Somebody said, how many milligrams of caffeine do you have a day? I have no idea. But on tournament days and stream days, I can unequivocally tell you it's a lot. Too much. It's a lot of caffeine. All the caffeine. Just give it to me right in the arm. All right, let's talk about AI for a second. Woo! It's going to be a morning. I feel bad for anybody who has to interface with me at work today. If anybody from work is watching, let's have a meeting. All right. So we've known AI is a thing. Like if this is a shocker to anybody, I'll give you a second to take a breather and realize that AI is here and it's not going anywhere, right? And I have to say, it's really starting to pick up in a good way, right? I think I posted yesterday, Sam Altman, I got it, I still got the screenshot over here, right? Sam Altman on Twitter, if you didn't know, OpenAI just released their new imaging model, and I played around with it a little bit, and it was actually really good. It's actually surprisingly freaking good. And so Sam Altman on Twitter says, it's super fun seeing people love images love images in ChatGPT, but our GPUs are melting. We're going to temporarily introduce some rate limits while we work on making it more efficient. Hopefully won't be long. And it just shows you the state of AI when text-based chat didn't melt GPUs, but as soon as you introduce the ability for people to create AI-generated images, the entire model melts down. Yes, Brian, it can actually spell words now realistically. I had to do some memes. I actually ran it through one of my AI bots to do some meme creation, and it actually did meme creation with the right meme with words. So AI is coming along. It is definitely here to stay. Well, as a lot of you know, I frequent Reddit. right? I definitely catch up with what's happening in the world and with what's happening in the industry on Reddit. Well, last night, as I'd come home from the range, as I was catching up on Reddit, as I laid in bed, catching up in Reddit now, right? There was a post on Reddit 17 hours ago, and I'm going to quote you a couple things that were said out of this post, right? The title of the post is, quote, "So it begins, me and the other 79 in my team are being canned and replaced by an AI that it turns out we've been training for the past 2 years. We work at a large U.S. company, about 300,000 employees." That's the title of the Reddit post. Right? That's the title of the Reddit post. And of course, there's a bunch of people that jump right in on the title of the Reddit post and immediately go down the rabbit hole. Oh my God, this is horrible. Knew this was coming, blah, 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 blah. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. Ah, the sky is falling. There's one sensible response. There's one sensible response in the story. About halfway down, it says, and I quote, "Feels like there is more to the story here. Otherwise, one of the biggest stories of the year, given the current attention towards AI, jobs, and jobs replaced by AI." That's the crux of the story right there. And there's a bunch of conversation that happens there, but I wanted to take this opportunity to think about this. I want to talk about it with you all as a community because we do know that AI is here, and I know that everybody is concerned about AI. Just like most people were concerned about robots in the manufacturing world. But let's give the OP the benefit of the doubt, and let's say that they do indeed work for a large U.S. company with 300,000 employees. And 79 people on one team were laid off. If you heard that without the context of AI, what would you immediately think? 79 people on one team got laid off. You would think redundancy. You would think low-skilled labor. You would think inefficient. You would think not producing the results that they were supposed to. You would think all of that, wouldn't you? You would think outsourcing. You would think all that. And what have we said on this stream? We have said countless times on this stream that if AI can replace low-level menial tasks, and you're worried about AI replacing your job, then what you're really worried about is somebody's going to come along and replace my low-skilled menial work. Right? And lo and behold, if you read through this comment, you can see that this was a SOC analyst, the lowest level of SOC analyst, doing stuff that could easily be replaced through automation. And so it's no different than when SOAR was making a play in our industry. It was no different than robots in manufacturing. And therefore, it's fear-mongering to say, oh my God, AI is coming for our jobs. If you are worried constantly that AI is going to take your level 1 job, maybe you shouldn't be doing SOC tickets as a level 1 analyst for 20 years. I'm not saying don't be skeptical of AI. I'm not saying don't think that you're safe. I love my wife. I told you I get text messages from her when I'm streaming. I can always tell like what my level of excitement is. She just texted me. And she said, "Today is a soapbox Friday, LOL." She knows. She knows. There isn't. Here's what I want to say, right? I saw somebody say it in chat. I don't know if you can find it or not, right? AI, there it is. USMC Nerd Dad. This is a fantastic quote. This I absolutely believe in. I saw something the other day. It's not AI replacing you. It's someone using AI will replace you. That's 100% right. This I 1,000% believe in. I've said it on this stream before. You guys have asked me what my thoughts are for AI, and I've told you need to be looking at agentic AI, and you need to be looking at programs like N8N, right? You need to be looking at AI automation. Because if you are not using AI to make your job easier, you will get replaced by somebody who is. Hands down. I'll say that every day of the week. If you're not looking to use AI to make your job easier, you will get replaced by somebody who is. Right? I was on a call with the CEO. So this is the other half of the CEO story that I told the other day, right? So I think I've told you I used AI at Query. I'm a one-man shop, right? I'm the CISO, I'm the security analyst, I'm the GRC person, I'm the pen tester, I'm all of it, right? I got to run an entire company, security posture. I just got my SOC 2. Yay! Most of you heard Matt talk about that the other day. I finally got inked in paper. My SOC 2 Type 2's done. Yay. Anyway, I run the entire security operations in Query by myself. I also support the go-to-market team. I also support product management. I also support customer success. Do you think that I can get away with not trying to use AI to automate my life? So I had a meeting with a CEO the other day who tried to sell me an AI SOC. And when we talked about what I was doing for my automation internally, and I mentioned using N8N and using AI agentic automation, he was like, "Oh, so you're doing that already." And so you can literally see the blood drain from his face as he realizes he just built a company for something that was ridiculously easy for a CISO to do on their own. Right? So it's already starting to even make some cybersecurity startup companies obsolete because of how ridiculously easy it is for you to get started. I lost the question there we go. Where was that question from before, that AI question? Damn it. We removed it. Oh well. So where do I think AI can help with, right? So first and foremost, you should be using AI to make your life easier any way you can. Whether that's through automation, whether that's through, ask it to write your policies, ask it to review things, right? You should be using AI to make your life easier, to automate the things. I think that is hands down the best place for AI in cybersecurity today. I think that AI is great today for taking a defined set. So listen, sometimes people mistake some of the functions of AI, right? If you have a conversation with Grok or ChatGPT or Claude or anything like that, right? And you just have an open-ended question and allow it to hallucinate, of course you're going to run into errors, right? There's a concept, and I hate to bring it up. Like, this is my boomer face. I'm willing to admit it. This is my boomer face. I saw a concept known as vibe coding on Reddit the other week, and I didn't understand what it was until I researched it. Now I understand what vibe coding was. And then I saw vibe marketing became a thing. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Cyber Insecurity, vibe hacking is now a thing. Just take a moment and let that process. Vibe hacking. So, yeah, what the fuck is vibe hacking? Yeah. So, vibe coding is where you sit down with an LLM and you're like, hey, I'd like to build a web app. And so then ChatGPT or Claude or somebody like that starts to build you a framework for a website or a web app. And then you're like, well, I'd like for it to do this. And then you let Claude write the code for it based on what you said. And then you basically just talk to the LLM in normal speak, non-programmatic speak, and it basically builds your web app, website, application, mobile app, whatever the case is, based on how you talk to it. So then I saw then the marketing folks picked it up and decided that there is now a term called vibe marketing, where you basically do the same thing. I'd like to have some Google ads that promote my pen testing business. And you allow the AI to just make your ads the way that they want to. And now there is vibe hacking, folks. Now there is vibe hacking. And vibe hacking is asking Claude, can you please determine if there is cross-site scripting in this site? Somebody has used their channel points to invoke emote only chat. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to use your emote onlys to give your feeling in chat for vibe coding, vibe marketing, and vibe hacking. Yep. We are at that stage, folks. The band hammer by Beardsec is definitely the worst. So is the toilet. The toilet's pretty good too. The facepalm's pretty good on there too. I'll do mine. Like this one is definitely this is definitely mine. I forgot where I was going with that, other than to say, please learn AI, right? AI is not going to come for your job, but AI is going to continue to change our landscape. AI is going to continue to change our landscape for the better or worse. Listen, let me say something about this whole vibe phenomenon, right? We can absolutely bash on it here every day. But let me also say that some of you will eventually be leaders in our industry. And you will have to hire somebody who does actually believe in vibe coding, vibe hacking, dear God, vibe security operations. Who knows? And so go out there and embrace it. I'm not saying you have to like it, but what I am saying is you at least need to be educated on it. And you at least need to know how it works. Right? Because if you aren't out there getting familiar with it, you will 1000% be replaced by somebody who does. And you may not like, listen, let's have a moment of truth here. Right? From a truth bomb perspective. You may not like that this is happening. But just like this Reddit post, if you're not out there embracing this, there is a high likelihood you could get replaced by it. If it proves to be effective, if vibe hacking proves to be working, if there are pen testers out there who are actually successful vibe hacking, I can guarantee you that you will get replaced by one if you're not. Mark my words. If there is a vibe hacker who can hack 1,000 websites on a bug bounty program through vibe hacking, and you can only do 10, you will get replaced by them. Cyber ties, fantastic question. I think this is a fantastic question. Right? From Cyber ties. Will it be harder to start at the bottom if it takes those very entry-level jobs, or maybe not as long as you learn AI? You will have to change what the bottom looks like in our industry. Right? The bottom today, right? If we talk about those entry-level jobs today, and I've said it before, I've said it on this very stream, I make no qualms about it. I have said that SOC analyst roles in cybersecurity are our equivalent of help desk roles. Because they're very easy to get into, they require little to no expertise, and in some cases, all you're legitimately doing is looking at a ticket, validating some information on a ticket, and sending it on to another analyst. I was at a company a couple of weeks ago, consulting with them, and I kid you not, their triage team looks at a ticket that comes in, does some analysis from the indicators, updates the tickets, and hits the escalate button that then sends it to level 2. That was the role of triage. So while some of you think that you've got to be this super elite sauce expert to be in some of these roles, you don't. That's what I keep telling you. Some of you don't understand just how low level some of these low level jobs are. Right? I shit you not. That was a level 1 triage analyst. And so what I would say to this is going to get automated by AI. Hands down. And to your point, Cyber Ties, this is why the bottom has to move up. And so what we might be seeing, if I were to put on my crystal ball and think about the future, what we might see, and I've never subscribed to the fact that the current state of security is not an entry-level job. And I think anybody who says otherwise has never seen what a real entry-level job is. A SOC analyst in a call center like Cognizant or WePro or Accenture or somebody like that is absolutely an entry-level job. You can literally get it with 0 level experience. You can get a vulnerability analyst role with 0 years of experience. So if I were to predict something, what I would predict that if the cyber industry really takes on AI and really starts to incorporate AI, the bottom will definitely rise. And we may see a world where that team may actually be true. Right? We may see a world where it may actually be true that cybersecurity isn't an entry-level job if we raise the bottom up. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not think that a real security analyst needs to have prior jobs in the IT market. Absolutely not. I think that is a fallacy. That is a 100% Neal opinion. Love to fight me on it, but I don't believe it. I have seen all walks of life. I have seen all walks of life come into this industry with 0 technical and 0 IT background and be amazingly successful. I've seen it firsthand, and I'm not the only one who has seen it. Not convinced? That's fine. That's fine. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, but that would be my prediction. Hold on. There's a great way to answer this question. Successful at what exactly? Making a shit ton of money. Right? That's a form of success, right? Here's another form of success. Putting food on the table for their family. That's a form of success. Right? Successful at what? Who are you to define what success is? People have come into this industry with 0 background and 0 experience and started from the ground up and been highly successful. Highly successful. Civil discourse, I love this. I'm happy to do this back and forth. I understand that and I agree with that, but if we want the field to be taken seriously, we need technically literate people or people who are willing to climb up the tech ladder. Wrong. Wrong. I highly disagree with this. Vehemently disagree with this. How many more adjectives do I need to put in front of disagree for the soapbox to be any more visible? I think this is Neal's opinion, and I'll say that 1,000%, but I think this opinion is complete hot garbage. I think that this opinion is hot fucking garbage. You do not need to be technically literate for this industry to be taken seriously. Because the people who take our industry seriously are not tech nerds. That may come as a shocker, But the people who will take our industry seriously are business leaders. And they don't give a fuck about your tech skills. Right? That's the only people. Like, you do not need technical literate people for this industry to be taken seriously. Right? We do not need people who are willing to climb up the tech ladder. There are more than enough roles in the non-tech space that are way more important than anything you're doing technically, that mean way more to the business, that mean way more to the success of our industry than whether you can do cross-site scripting, than whether you can do reverse engineering of malware, than whether you can, unencode, a base 64 PowerShell script. Right? All of those are way more important in this industry than your tech skills. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. And listen, I've been technical my whole life. I saw Callie say it in chat, right? Like, Neal, you're not a typical CISO. You're a technical CISO. I am a technical CISO. I still get my hands dirty day and day. Right? You know which ones Matt loves to talk to me about? The business stuff, right? You know which ones the board loves to talk to me about? The business stuff, right? Those things matter more than your tech skills. First one to die says, great to see this level of energy every day. Every day. I love it. What's a good path for learning AI from an enterprise or CISO perspective? Can you please share some resources? Right now, I don't fundamentally think that there's any good resources out there other than like just reading shit that's on the internet. There's a YouTuber that I was watching for N8N stuff. Let's see if I... Oh, shit. Archangel, thank you so very much. The $100 donation to the Melanoma Research Foundation. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means the world to me. Thank you so very much. That means the world to me. For those who don't know, there's a fundraiser that's going in Twitch right now. For melanoma research. I saw your question, Cybertize. I'll talk about that one here in a little bit. I want to kind of find this one YouTuber that I was looking for really fast before I forget because I'm a spaz. History. I'll post it on YouTube because apparently my history is filled with all the music that I listen to. Actually, I might have, no, it's not there. It's not there. Damn it. I'll find it and I'll put it up on Twitter later. I can't find it, but there is a YouTuber that I've been following for N8N type of stuff. That has been that's been one of the biggest people that I've followed. But I would say there's more reading to be done right now than there is anything else. Like, I'm not talking about a course. I don't think that there's a Udemy course or anything like that. I don't know. I wish I had. I will make it a mission of mine to cultivate some better resources. I'm really bad about that, but I'll make it a mission to cultivate some better resources. I promise you that. Coursera's got a good course on machine learning. I would agree that machine learning is definitely important. Machine learning is about the plumbing, so understand that going into it. Like, I highly encourage you to understand how the plumbing works. I'm not a math person. Like, I failed math miserably. I failed physics miserably, right? And so, like, I will 1,000% admit that most of that stuff is well over my comprehension level. So I don't understand how the plumbing works. I don't know. Maybe according to some of you in chat, I shouldn't be an AI because I don't understand how the plumbing works. How's the health journey been going, Neal? You've been looking and sounding zapped lately. Health journey's going good. Again, we've got the Melanoma Research Foundation, charity that's happening in chat. Thanks to everybody who's been donating that this stream. It means a lot to me. That money goes straight to melanoma research. For those who don't know, 2.5 years ago, I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Melanoma, hence the charity. Pretty surprising. Since then, I've been on treatments. I haven't had a treatment since September, and that's been by design with the doctor. We're not technically in remission, so we're not at cheering point yet, right? Trust me, when I actually get officially in remission, we're gonna have a fucking 24-hour stream or something, and we're gonna celebrate the fuck out of it. But I've not had any recursion of symptoms. I've not had, my tumor growth has been, my tumor has not grown at all. You're probably right. I actually probably can't stay away for 24 hours. My blood work has all checked out. The doctor is incredibly pleased with how my body is responding. And so for all intents and purposes, we're doing really, really good. I'm in the gym 4 to 7 days out of the week. I play golf almost every day, right? And when I say play golf, I'm either hitting, so we built a simulator in the house, so I either hit balls in the simulator, or now that it's starting to warm up, going outside a lot more. Very excited to be going outside, to actually play some golf and touching grass. And so I've lost, so for those who don't know, if you go look at streams from May, when we started coming back streaming full time, to now, I was 207 in those videos. I am 172 as of this morning. 172 as of this morning. I've dropped 30 pounds in 6 months. Healthily, doctor's been watching it. So it's all under the care of a doctor. Feeling pretty good and whatnot, if you can't tell. So I apologize if I look zapped. I have a lot going on. I love the streams in the morning because I feel very energized first thing in the morning. I apologize for appearing zapped. Have you made any lifestyle changes since the diagnosis? Yes, I have not had a drop of alcohol in 2.5 years. Not a single drink. Not a single drink. That was not by choice. And I want to be honest with you there. Right? So we'll have a real field moment right here, right? I was drinking right up until my first treatment. As a matter of fact, the day before my first treatment, I was out with friends. And it was one of those out with friends. Hey, I'm going to go get my first treatment tomorrow. We're having, wine at dinner. Didn't think anything of it. As a matter of fact, at that point in time, I was like, well, I'll probably have to stop drinking for a little while because it probably doesn't go good with the meds. But hey, it's only short term, right? I legitimately thought that to myself. I go in the next morning for my very, very first treatment. And so the process is for my treatments is I would go get blood drawn. I would go see the doctor, and then I would go get cancer treatments. So I go get my blood drawn. I go upstairs to see the doctor. And Carmen's with me because she went with me for probably the first year to every single treatment. She was a fucking trooper, right? And doctor goes, did you drink last night? I was like, yeah, of course. I had dinner with some friends and we had some wine. And I shit you not, chat. Doctor leaned over in his chair to me, put his hands on my knees, looked me in the eye, and was like, if you do not stop drinking, you will not survive this treatment. He was dead serious as he could be. He was like, your liver isn't done, but you're on the cusp, and we're about to inject a shit ton of chemicals in you that your liver has to process. We run the real risk of destroying your liver with these chemicals alone, let alone if you keep drinking. And it clicked for me, chat. Like, no bullshit. He said that to me, and that day, I committed. I was never going to have another drop of alcohol ever again. It was a very real moment. Hands down, chat. Hands down. And I've never looked back. Never looked back. And if you know me, if you've been around this stream for a while, you know I love my bourbon, love my whiskey, love my red wine, love to go out and have red wine and steak. Haven't so much as looked back from it. Not a day. 2.5 years alcohol free. So yeah, dropping alcohol was huge. I think that plus the diet stuff. I do feel great without it. It's been wild to have the body changes that I've had. I think that it has contributed to my success in my body being able to process the cancer drugs. I'm good. I love it. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back streaming. Listen, like I'll always say it, like I appreciate everybody who stuck around through the last 2.5 years. I know it was a really rough road, especially streaming wise. I told you guys it was going to be a rough road streaming wise. I'm glad to be back streaming. I'm glad to have the support of the community, those who've stuck around, those who came, while we were going through the struggles. You guys have been amazing, and you guys have definitely been a rock for me to lean on, and I truly appreciate it. Hence the reason why we continue to raise money for the Melanoma Research Foundation as well. I saw this one. I wanted to drop this one in chat from Fracas Wow. So we're going to pivot again. So grab onto the side. We're going to pivot around. We're going to turn the car, sharp turn to the left. This is bullshit. I'm a MSc cybersecurity grad with experience in internships. I actively engage in platforms like Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, where I refine my skills and I'm immense to myself in this domain at every opportunity. And after 6 months of applying for entry-level jobs, I got 0 reply. That, my friends, is a testament to everything that I continue to talk about. Right? That is everything I continue to talk about. This job market is hot freaking garbage. If this strategy is a strategy I preached that would have worked 5 years ago, this strategy doesn't work today. And again, I go back to, if you're not changing your job search strategies as the world changes around you, then you're not actually interested in finding a job. The world is going to change around you. The way that you find jobs is going to change. The way that you have to put yourself out there is going to change. If you are not adapting to the way that the job market is working out there today, then that's what's causing the frustration. It's not bullshit. It's that the enemy, the hiring managers, have changed their TTPs, and you have not. You have not. What is the way now? The way is networking. Listen, if I put a job out on a job board today and I get 4,000 people applying for that job, I put a stat out on that 1,000 Connect video that Beardsec just dropped in there. Less than 7% of the people who apply for a job on LinkedIn actually get hired through that Apply Now button. Right? And again, for right or wrong, I told you I was at dinner with a CISO, a VP of security architecture, and a SOC manager on Wednesday, someday this week. Right? They're asking me to give them introductions to people that they want to hire on their team. They're not putting up job ads because they know that it's a useless endeavor to put up a job posting. You know when they'll put up a job posting? So I got them intro to a member of the community who I thought was fit for a role they were asking me to help them with. That person's had 2 interviews, and after my dinner on Wednesday, there's a likelihood that they're going to pursue hiring this individual. When they make that decision, that's when they'll put the job posting up so they can tell this candidate to go apply for that job, and then they'll tell HR, this is the candidate that we want to hire. That's how it's working these days. That is how it's working these days. 100% networking. You can fight it all day long. Like, I don't care. Right? I'm not looking for a job. Right? I'm not looking for a job. I love it at Query. We're going to the moon, baby. But I can unequivocally tell you that if you are ignoring this fact of life right now, you might as well not even look for a job. You might as well not even look. This is reality. Listen, and here's why. And I'll go back and I'll say it before. It is supply and demand. There are more job seekers in the market today, especially in cyber, than there ever has been. Supply is up. When supply goes up, demand goes down. Right? When supply goes up, I'm no longer going to the grocery store. I'm going to the specialized market. I'm going to go to the farmer's market. I'm going to stop getting the commodity stuff, and I'm going to go find some specialized talent. You know why? Because there's a ton of specialized talent on the market today. Thank you. Testament from the field. For those of you who are sitting around going, Neal is full of shit today, thank you for the testament from the field. Right? I've gotten my last 3 jobs from LinkedIn connections, from connections I only knew in person. Even at my current place, when we have an opening, we hit so many bots and deepfakes that it's pointless to pursue job seekers through that avenue without extreme risk. You all are not paying attention to the world. You're listening to dumbass fucking influencers on the internet who are like, do these 3 resume tips to guarantee you'll end up in a recruiter's inbox today. Bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, pay me for your resume review and I'll guarantee you'll get a job. Bullshit. I'm telling you, some of you, I want you to go find a brick wall. I want you to walk up to it 6 inches apart from it. And I want you to start smashing your head against the wall. And I want you to do that until you realize that networking is how you're going to get a job in today's space. Joking, of course. T's and C's and blah, 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 blah. Joking, of course. Seriously, right? Go make friends. Go touch grass. Go talk to people. Go make meaningful connections on the world. Build those connections. And go do awesome stuff. Meetups. That's awesome. I say B-Sides KC. Right? All that stuff. Learn as much as you can. This is not the time to be leaving a job if you have one. Right? This is not the time to be leaving a job if you have one. And if you're looking for a job, you should set your expectations ridiculously low. And you should go out there and make as many friends as possible. Please. Whew. Love it. What's your advice for math suckies and to advance in the field? I suck at it also. Go make friends with people like eCurve. Make sure that they're your closest friends so they can do all the math stuff for you. That's the best way to handle all the math stuff. Let's see here. Where do you get your latest news from? X and Reddit. X and Reddit. X and Reddit. Honestly. Show a list of your opinion of the best channels to start in cybersecurity. Cyber Insecurity. Cyber Insecurity is the only best channel. There you go. I don't promote anybody else's stuff. Go make your own assessment. Let's real quick, just on that topic, right? Think about how I want to say this. What works for me does not work for you. Right? What works for me does not work for you. There is no best. Let's start with that. There is no best. If you put best in front of everything, you're already starting on the wrong foot. There is no best. Right? And I'll say that about cyber insecurity, right? Like, I think cyber insecurity is the best. Right? I unequivocally think cyber insecurity is the best, which is why I've continued to do it for 5 years. So do a lot of people who are still here years later. I think the people in cybersecurity or cyber insecurity are the best. And I love every single one of them. Right? But there is somebody better. There will always be somebody better. I'm not the best, and I know that. Brian is better than me, as you can tell. Right? And so the first thing I would encourage you to do is to get best out of your vocabulary. Get best out of your vocabulary. You have to find what works for you. And you have to curate your knowledge based on what works for you. And this goes for training, this goes for certs, this goes for everything. Right? I love Brian as an instructor, but I may not like Brian's instructor style. And so while he may be super smart at teaching the content he teaches, I just don't like the way he drones on and is super pedantic about bullshit in his teaching. And so I just can't learn from him. Obviously, I'm joking, just giving you an example. So I say all that to say, go find what's best for you. And what I will say is, when you talk to people, like this is why I hate those lists, right? Oh, here are the top 10 cybersecurity YouTube channels. Fuck you, you're just looking for click links. God damn it, what the hell did I just say? You're just looking for clicks. You want to make a list? Go take a personality test and say, if you're an ENFJ and you're slightly ADHD and maybe a tad bit autistic, these channels work for me. You see how much, like, now I can look at that and go like, I know what an ENFJ is. I'm probably a little bit of ADHD. I probably got too much caffeine in my body, so that maybe I'm just a tad bit autistic. Let's go check out some of those channels. Instead of hunting for clicks by saying, here are the top 10 YouTube channels that exist out there. See how stupid that is? So remove best, go find what works for you. First one to die says, do you recommend the same connections challenge for someone years in the industry at a management level, but not very active on socials? I recommend the connection challenge for anybody everywhere. You should always be growing your network. You should always be growing your network. You should always be socializing. You should always be networking with your peers in the industry, no matter what level you are in. I would argue that the two best ways or the two best times to grow your network are at the beginning of your career and at senior executive level. Right? Does anybody have a guess as to why that is? I mean, the beginning of the career, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. Does anybody understand why I say that it's super important when you're a senior executive? In a security org, in a relative size security org, how many people with 0 to 5 years experience, percentage-wise, typically make up a security org, right? Probably 30 to 40%, right? Maybe 50%, right? Somewhere around in there. Do you know how many people, how many security orgs? Do you know how many CISO roles are at a security org? 1. Do you know how many director of security operations roles are at most organizations? 1. You know how many directors of GRC are at an organization? 1. So when you're competing at the senior executive level, there is a pool of candidates and 1 job opening. Right? So I would argue those of you who are at the entry level spot of the world, while it may feel like you don't have an advantage, you're competing for 5, 6, 7, 10, 79 in the case of this one that we saw on Reddit this morning, roles. At the senior executive level, there's 1 role that you're competing for. And so it is critically important that you network the higher up you get in the food chain. That way you are in the best position to get that role. So yes, absolutely. Please continue your network. All right, let's do a couple more. We got 10 more minutes here before I actually got to go do my day job. How do you feel about the current job landscape? Do you think security jobs will be lost to automation and AI agents? I've said it before. I said it like I said on the beginning part of when we talked about this. Job landscape today is very, very difficult, very, very challenging. I think this job landscape sucks terribly. I don't think jobs will be lost to automation and AI agents. I think jobs will be lost to people who are using AI agents and automation more effectively. So go learn how to do it. Here we go with the best again. What's your 3 best hacking tools? My personality, my brain, and the internet. 3 best hacking tools out there. What's the good word? How was golf last weekend? As with sometimes it happens in my job, it was a failure to execute last weekend. So I did not do as well as I'd hoped I'd do. Failure to execute. Callie, good to see you as always, buddy. My most favorite intern to give shit to. Do you think that cyber is going to be targeted more by AI and automation since cyber doesn't guarantee money and cost the business? Absolutely. But here's the thing. Every business is susceptible to efficiency gains. Think about that for a second. Every business, every job, every function in an organization, is susceptible to efficiency gains. What does that mean? That means that if I can make a part of the business more efficient, I will look for ways to make that part of the business more efficient, more cost-effective for the business. Which means I will look for tools, people, or processes which will make the business more efficient. That has nothing to do with cyber. That has nothing to do with technology. Has nothing to do with AI. Has everything to do with Business 101. If I can get 160 hours out of work out of an individual who's only working 40 hours a week, that's good for business. Some of you who have, some sensitive mindsets may not like that answer too much. But if I can get 160 hours worth of work out of a 40-hour work week, I have tripled my efficiency. Simple economics. So yes, if I can automate your job and I can work 1,000 tickets instead of 100 in a 1-month time period through automation, I have a 10x more efficient operation. F your feelings. I have a business to run. No, Bay. I didn't say you as a worker. I said me as a business owner, me as a CEO, right? I'm sure every worker wants to work 40 hours and only do 2 hours of actual work. And to that, I would say, cool, I'm going to automate your 2 hours. I'm going to fire you, and I'm going to get that time back. Right? If I find out that you actually only do 2 hours of actual work and I'm paying you for 40, that is ripe for me looking for places for efficiency. I'm sure you as a worker would love to get paid for 40 and only work 2. But as a business owner, that's not good. Unless those 2 hours are spent closing multi-million-dollar deals that are bringing revenue in, that's not good for business. So I would say, if you're hanging out doing 2 hours of work, and you're worried about AI replacing your job, you got a right to worry. Right? I'm not saying, listen, I'm with you. I'd love to only work 2 hours a week. Absolutely. Startup life has been great. Like I will tell you, I could tell you some stories. Where I seriously questioned whether I could fight cancer and work at a startup at the same time. Absolutely questioned it. So everybody wants to work as little as possible and get paid as much as possible. That is human nature. Right? It's absolutely human nature. That does not, but in that same token, right? If you, as a worker, are like, well, fuck the business, I'm going to work 2 hours and get paid for 40. You can't be pissed when the business is like, fuck, I don't have to pay you for 40 when you're really only doing 2 hours. Get out of my business. You can't be mad about that. It's a business. And I'm about it. Go out there and get your cash. Go out there and get your money. Do what you got to do. Like, this isn't me telling you that you better go find 38 hours worth of work to do. Go get your money. What I'm telling you is be realistic with yourself. And when you get laid off because they found out you only do 2 hours worth of work, don't be mad at the business for making a business decision. You made a decision to only give 2 hours worth of value and take 38 hours worth of free pay. You know, I have strong feelings on this, right? I have strong feelings all the way around. Strong feelings all the way around on this. There is no right answer, right? I think corporations have gotten away with treating employees like shit for way too long. And I think employees have taken advantage of companies for way too long. Right? I believe both of those things can and are true. I think that it is circular and they have fed each other this toxicity for literally decades. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has taken advantage of everyone else for literally decades. Right? What I'm telling you is set your expectations in reality. Right? If you're worried that your 2 hours of work, of actual real work, can be replaced with automation, don't be surprised when automation comes for you and you're laid off because of automation. Don't be surprised. You did not make yourself valuable to the enterprise. If you're genuinely worried about AI taking your job because you only do 2 hours of work in a 40-hour work week, you solely, your personality, you on the other end of this camera, you are not making yourself valuable to the enterprise. Not the enterprise, you are not doing it. It is your responsibility to show the business that for what they pay you, they are getting their money's worth. It's your responsibility. It's not the businesses. Businesses don't have an obligation to pay you what they choose to pay you. There's no law. There's no mandate. There's no workers' union like there is in Europe. Right? Businesses don't have a requirement to do that. You have a requirement to prove your value to the enterprise. Tiny soapbox. I usually like to end on a good soapbox. Jason Miller over in LinkedIn chat. Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's talk about next week really fast. Next week, we do have Sec Data Ops, and we got Team of the Hacker next week. I want to give a huge thank you to our new subs. Blood Pain subbing with Prime. Thank you so very much. Blood Pain also with the $25 donation to the Melanoma Research Foundation. Thank you all so very much for your subs today. Thank you all so very much for your donations to the Melanoma Research Foundation. I truly do appreciate it. That money does not go to me. That money goes directly to the Melanoma Research Foundation. We do have, make sure you're in Discord. Step 1, before you leave today, before you sign off for the day, make sure you're in Discord. Step 2, make sure you go into the giveaways channel and you have notifications turned on for the giveaways channel. Because step 3 is I'm going to be dropping the weekly Try Hack Me giveaway care of BitLift into the giveaways channel today for 3 Try Hack Me vouchers. And you want to make sure you're registered for that. Speaking of giveaways, we're going to have a conversation internally. We're going to talk with Jason. We're going to figure out the rules around his Tessie wrap idea. Because we will be giving away a SANS course as part of that. So make sure you are paying attention to that. Right? We do have Sec Data Ops next Thursday. Surprise guest. You'll see it on socials, which does remind me, make sure you have all notifications turned on for socials. While I do have scheduled streams, whenever Carmen is out of town, whenever I'm bored at night, or if it's raining and I can't go to the driving range, or I can't be out on the golf course, I have been known to randomly stream. It freaks Brian out because he's usually chilling at home on his couch with a good book and his old man glasses and his old man gray beard, reading a book on world history, and he sees a notification on his phone that I'm gone streaming, and I either get 1 of 2 responses. Holy shit, I got to go help Neal, or fuck that asshole. I don't know which one it'll be, but who knows? But I may start streaming randomly. So you want to have those notifications turned on so you know when I go streaming. All right. I think that's everything. I think that's all the awesome stuff. I think we're good. I think we're good. Thank you so very much for an awesome Friday. I'm super excited to get started with my day here today. Go do some awesome stuff at Query. I want you to go do some awesome stuff wherever it is that you're doing. If you're on the other side of the world, congratulations. You kicked ass on another week. Go have a good, enjoyable evening. Do whatever it is you got to do to be happy. If you're over here in the U.S., make Friday an awesome freaking Friday. Go do some awesome shit today. I love you. Y'all stay awesome. And remember, whether you're on the red side or the blue side or still deciding, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.